I guess I could turn my ring light on. It looked fine without it, but whatever. I giggle because the cat is just like passed out on the heating pad, just belly up. And no, I did not move. I just rotated. Literally. Oh yeah, I wanted to get audio. I'll just keep playing the same playlist. It's fine. It's just so loud. For me, anyways. It's deafening. I mostly use it to monitor audio because I can't really tell. I have a couple notes for things that we've accomplished in the last year or so. Oh my god. I don't pay attention when my hair looks insane. I was so focused on what I was doing this morning. I should still have. Oh, the pheasant's back. My board got messed up too and moving everything, but I just didn't have time to fix it, and I don't know if it's something I'm gonna keep yet or what exactly we're gonna do with it just quite yet, but we'll figure it out. So that's why I didn't fix it. And it's really hard to write on chalkboard when you're left-handed. I don't know why she's looking at me like that. I just want to get my cards out. Bunny up. Yeah, and those are champagne flutes. That's what I used. Actually, I just poured this one because I didn't finish my bottle of sparkling apple grape cider. My celebration drink. 3 years sober. Exciting. I don't embarrass myself on a regular basis anymore. Well, I probably do. Just in a way that I don't notice or am affected by. Let's go. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, I guess, last stream. That little, end stand thing. It has, all of my work stuff on it, so I can package, label, ship, away everything I need to do. Right there. And it's super convenient. Good time. I also was thinking about looking through some old stuff. It's something that I did around, I think it was the end of 2019. I went through and watched all of the stream clips and stuff like that. Talked about the journey so far. I did it in October instead of around New Year's. My metamorphosis is on its own schedule. It does not abide by the laws of physics. I don't have anything planned for today besides just chatting and hanging out for a bit. Oh, Jesus. So if there's something that I do end up getting into, I don't have a plan. Oh. I started my January dopamine playlist. I did not update the link in chat. Actually, don't even know my bots working. Ah, it is. What is my hands? It works. What's going on, Fox? Every time I read through those, I'm like cracking up, and I just. Besides, I've been putting on my Instagram captions. Last time I scheduled my Instagram content, that's why it's run out. I'll get to it. But I haven't figured out what else to do with those besides. But they fucking make me laugh every time. I took all of my mini notebooks and spare papers on the desk, and I finally put them all into one notebook. I started writing it. Pain in the ass. I still have to do this one. It's mostly work stuff. It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. This idle game. Oh shit, yeah. Dude, I was playing Idle Pins for a while, and I got super into it. You're doing it all the idle games. That was a problem. Sweet generosity and creative endeavors. Ah! Don't do this to me. Why my hands aren't handsing today? What is my hands? Oh yeah, they do give a lot of dopamine. Ugh. I figured out how to like run emulators on my PC for phone games, and it was a problem. But it's not like fun. It's Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and what was the other one? Fuck. I doubt I still have it. FE Heroes, that's what it was. It's the Nintendo one. So I wasn't like emulating like Candy Crush games or whatever, but yeah, gotcha games. Oh god, they got me. They got me bad. At one point, it's just a dopamine machine. That's essentially what Punishing Grey Raven is, which I haven't opened in months. Man. and new opportunities, new ideas. Oh, boundaries and resilience. So many sense. Did it make any sense? I only saw one pair of the fucking glasses yesterday, and they were just regular glasses with 2024 on the top. We've lost all creativity in this world. Also, what's going on, Grace? Oh, fake granddaughter. The Chariot. Yeah, I was just thinking about last night, because last night was the very first New Year's Eve that I have spent alone and single since I was probably 14 or 15. So I was just enjoying dinner. Man, I just finished breakfast. I'm so bad at like regular human stuff. Progression, foresight, opportunities, quickly. The Chariot. I gotta get back on my scheduled programming. But I guess last night I was kind of thinking, my feels, kind of thinking about, like, I don't know what exactly I accomplished this year, because in moving everything around, I feel like I wasn't doing enough, like, work on the computer and efforts into my different pages and all of that. And I was like, I just took a minute and a step back and thought about it. And, like, literally, like, 5-ish months ago, we were celebrating me, like, being able to sit up on my own for the first time without any pillows behind me or anything, because the whole Cozy Live thing was I was literally propped up with pillows and blankets in front of the TV. I didn't have a desk, I didn't have a chair or anything, and now I have like my full setup again. So like that's already quite the progression from the past couple years. It's been a wild ride. Like I started the year with COVID. And actually, I'm gonna have a video out soon of when I filmed while I had COVID. Well, I filmed the audio for it while I had COVID. And I love it. It's so good. I can't get through it through editing it without crying. I don't know how to say that. Chad, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate the fuck out of you. Should I bring that back? I don't know. It's like habit at this point. It takes me like actual thought to be like, I appreciate you without saying like the whole thing. But oh crap, look, it's a cat. Thank you so much for the raid, I appreciate you. We're just chilling, chatting. I have sparkling grape juice, apple grape juice. Talking about the last year and everything. Because if you don't know, at the beginning of the year, I was bedridden. Yeah. That's why I kind of like move things around. All I did was rotate my desk, but I moved things around. Last year, I think it was yesterday. Man, last year is very difficult for me. I woke up. We don't have a shout out command, but you can do the shout out thing. Should I make one of those? Literally hasn't crossed my mind. But yeah, back when I was working my way back into content creation, I was going by Cozy Live. Is that right? Hi, welcome. But I was going by Cozy Live because, I love that. Because I was literally propped up by pillows and blankets. That's how I was out of bed, because I was on the ground, propped up with pillows and blankets. And I would stream, like, without a camera or anything. And I slowly got myself back to here. And this year, I made it to top 10% just chatting, so. Yes, so there's Madam President. She just had a light bulb of treats. So she might be out for a little bit. Yeah, I love that. It played out boring. Everyone hates you for saying it. On January 1st, are you going on a long adventure? Yeah. Oh, I love those. It's been such a crazy year. But thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Madam President in her glory. She really runs the show. I just kind of sit here. No worries. I appreciate you. If I would have met January and me from last year, like... I don't even remember what I did for New Year's last year. I think I went to sleep at like 9 o'clock. I got to 12:30 last night and then I went late in bed. I wanted to stay up. My thing is watching the ball drop in New York. Usually it's Dick Clark's thing, but since it hasn't been free for the past few years, and I don't have TV because who has TV? I find different live streams and stuff, and this year I found there was like Earth Cam, that was a bunch of different people celebrating around the world, and there was people just like walking around New York filming shit. And then for like actual the actual countdown, the Times Square in New York, like Times Square NYC, has its own like live feed thing, so that did the countdown and everything. But all my shit was off because like my phone, well, now it's 1 minute, but yesterday it was 2 minutes off, or 2 or 3 minutes off, which with the delay in the live stream, it's like it's off anyways. Happy 420. It is not my first time smoking this year. I was gonna say I rolled myself a J last night, but I didn't roll it. I used one of those cones and you stuff the thing down in. I rolled one of those a couple days ago, and I had it for New Year's with my grape juice. Hi, I'm 30 and sober. Life isn't as much fun anymore. That's not true. Life is so much more fun. And I don't feel embarrassed about it. But yeah, so like 5-ish months ago, I wasn't able to sit up on my own. I wasn't able to sit in a chair for long periods. Wasn't able to stand for long periods. Couldn't walk for more than a couple of minutes. It was really bad. I have like no muscle near, because I had abdominal surgery towards the beginning of the year, last year or the year before, and like still parts of my muscles are like the nerves are fucked up, so they don't have like the same feeling. So that's something I've been working on, and getting some strength in my back as well. But I'm happy with that, and the fact that like I left Twitch for 3 years, I think it was, and I came back and I can hold like a 5 average from nothing it's more significant than not. I think. I'm happy about that. I don't really have any plans. I would love to get like a good content creation planner thing, but I'm gonna have to make it myself because my brain is so like, I don't know, every time I try using somebody else's shit, like, it doesn't fit right, and then my brain's like, well, if I could just adjust this one thing, and then I end up doing the whole thing over and making my own version of whatever it was anyways. Because I can't deal with it. Yeah, that's insane. Oh, it's been such a crazy year. I started playing all my favorite games over again, pretty much, and actually understanding them and being able to appreciate them in a completely new light, and it is so wonderful. It's so exciting, so I'm so happy about it. It's great to be on like this side of things because I don't know, for a long time I didn't feel like I would ever be on this side of things. Like I was just gonna be going through it for the rest of forever. But I finally evolved to a version of myself that could handle everything that was going on. Which I don't necessarily think I can. I'm doing my best, trying to make decisions and not fuck around with anybody and things like that. Yeah, but I just mean like, in my friendships, I don't want to fuck around and hurt anybody or anything like that. Trying to be more conscious of that. But shortly after I started streaming this year, I was streaming on YouTube for the first few months because it was it didn't open me up to as many people, and it was a lot less work, like the Twitch not Twitch dashboard, the YouTube dashboard and the YouTube setup and everything, because a lot of it doesn't actually integrate. It was a lot easier for me because somewhere, I think it was around 2021, maybe it was around the surgery of 2022, was when I basically like had to remove myself from everything. Like I removed myself from everyone's Discords, like I unfollowed everybody, I deleted my fucking Instagram, that was that was something. I deleted my TikTok, that was something. No, my Instagram had, I think it was 3,600 at the time of deleting it, and my TikTok was like 36,000 by the time of deleting it. And I had to, because I just couldn't mentally take any of it. That's a lot of opinions and shit to have on you at all times. Especially, like, my Instagram audience was not respectful at all. It was horrible. And they would, like, shame me and shit. It was bad. My DMs were always full of bullshit. And, like, now I wake up and my DMs are... I thought they would be worse, given what I'm doing and everything, but no, they're actually quite nice. Generally. Some people say some weird shit to me, but... it's never... it hasn't been meanness. And usually when I get, like, a DM that's, like, fucking weird, I'll look up at the top and it'll be, like, reported or banned or something. Which means other creators have tagged this person as, like, woo. We don't know what boundaries are. Oh, yeah, 90% of them are. But I'm talking about the ones I actually get from people. Because my DMs are full, but they're full of spam. I check them every so often to see if there's, like, real people in there. But yeah, it's all... I'm trying to sell you, like, things. It's... buy fans, buy likes. It's like, why would I do that? First of all, it's counterintuitive. Oh, graphic design's the worst. People abused the fuck out of that on Twitter, though, a few years ago. And they would use it to promote, like, their posts or whatever. Because if you just put a specific word in there, the graphic design bots go off the rails. So you can make a tweet about something else and then just put need Twitch panels in the bottom of it or something, and it blows up. Because of bots. Work smart, not hard, I guess. Sure. Oh, God. Oh, man, that's intense. Oh. one of the ones I got that was bad was the one that was from it was from an account that was like it was sounded like it was related to the Sam and Colby thing. And it was really, just really funny to like entertain the idea. Like I know it's not actually. So, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. And a lot of the time, that's how I feel about it too. Is like better me than somebody like my old self who couldn't handle that shit and crumpled under it. But I have a unique ability to like level myself, learn, grow, become better instead of like just trying to not be affected by it. Because a lot of the time the reason that you're affected by it, I mean, for women it does get way out of hand. Like you can be a no cam streamer or whatever and you will just get shit still. You can be a no cam artist on Twitter, you'll still get the same thing. But like I had a point, but it fell off. Yeah, at least it's me. At least it's just going into the abyss. Because I can promise you that I don't think about it once I close that app. Like, I think I check my Snapchat like once a day. I don't have notifications on for it. I don't have notifications on for anything. Unless, like, there's somebody that I'm prioritizing, which I don't think isn't gonna happen anymore. Yeah, it's a blue snowball. And the pop filter's just from Amazon. It was like $12. Yeah. Oh, I have no idea. It's just some cheap thing. I just did it because I peak my mic a lot, and it's might get a different mic. I don't know. It depends on things that are outside of my own hands. So, and I just got the arm. I did all the research and shit myself, and it's my favorite one that I've had. Yeah, I have it on a low profile arm, not a stand. It was on a stand a couple of weeks ago, but I'm too loud with my tapping and banging and stuff. It can't be on the stand. Oh, the thing I was saying is that when the DMs and stuff from like actual people start to get to you or whatever, it's usually because you have something within you that can be activated by this thing. So just eliminating that thing doesn't actually change anything about you and doesn't improve your resilience or anything like that. So I've been always able to bring myself into somebody better. Yeah. I move my desk around way too much. I have this hole in my desk because I have like a real wood, like it needs to be refinished, but it's like a real wood desk, and it has like a hole in the top for cables and everything, and that's where I like I like put it in all angled and everything, but it ends up like going on there fine. Like it looks good and everything. But I had to put the bottom of the mount through the hole. It worked. If it's stupid, but it works, it's not stupid. I think this is almost gone. No? Oh, Jesus. It's a lot of sugar. I also have a habit of, like, hitting my mic, and I've hit this one the least so far, so. I am wild and dramatic with everything. But yeah, after I started streaming in the beginning of the year, being held up by Like, literally a mountain of pillows and blankets. I opened a secondhand store. I don't have it linked or anything because I'm almost out of stuff to sell on it. If that makes sense. Because it's mostly like electronics and stuff, and they're almost gone. But I have a bunch of orders on that, and I have a ton of 5-star reviews, so I was proud of that, coming from literally nothing. I didn't have a bank account at the beginning of the year. My bank account got closed when I got really sick, even though I've had it since I was literally 15. 90% of tasty. I didn't know Steamboat Willie was entering public domain. I knew Mickey Mouse did. And there's already been like a game released or something, and it's like, it hasn't even been in public domain for 12 hours and we already have a game. But that was also something to celebrate, as I went from having no bank account, literally nothing, to having a functional and successful store. And I still use it here and there for things. It's more like collectibles, electronics, things like that. I'm working on my own website. I can get everything in one place. But it's gonna take some time for my brain. Steamboat Willie, variant of Miggy. Oh, okay. That's why. That's why. The old style. Which makes sense, because that was the same thing for Winnie the Pooh. It wasn't the red shirt Disney one, it was just regular Winnie the Pooh back when he was just a bear. Alright, Winnie the Pooh history. Yeah. And after I started doing that, it gave me more time to like work on art and stuff, and I've done more art this year than I have ever. Like, maybe not collectively, but and that I've done in the past few years, which means I have a full set of emotes, and I have an Etsy store that I'm going to put emotes up, and Twitch panels and overlays and everything, because I make all of my stuff myself, and I'm gonna sell packages and stuff. That's just one thing. Like, the store's up, I just have to get the listings and stuff ready. Probably sub badges too, because I did all of mine, and they don't take that long. Well, it's tedious, so they do kind of take long, but it's not worth it to have them. Disney had to release a warning on which is actually entering the domain. That makes sense. People did that with Winnie the Pooh too, and I bet like there's probably, with the influx of all of the variations of Mickey or all the variations of Pooh that went up at the, last year or whatever, it's probably impossible to clock all of them, even for Disney. And Disney's big on that. Disney's almost as bad as Nintendo, which is what I was going to say about emulating the games on my PC over the last couple of years. Was every time you get a specific emulator that will work for Animal Crossing, it gets shut down because they do not want you emulating. Steam really doesn't care. Yeah. Piracy's not scary. Technically, yeah. And I'm not the one who put the things up on the site. Pocket Camp was the one I was talking about, but I have the other one on Switch too, the recent one. But I was emulating Pocket Camp because we were talking about idle games, and the only game that I had that was idle. Well, no, that's not true because I had Punishing Gray Raven, but I also had idle pins that I was doing for a while, and that's such a bad addiction. And it convinces you you're doing more. Oh no, BlueStacks doesn't run it anymore. The last one that ran it was LD Player, but that ended last year at some point. Was I responsible? Can't prove anything. Switch emulation's good? It wasn't Switch emulation though, it's the Android emulation. The Play Store. They're so good at that. But yeah, Manny and Toki have been Nintendo streamers forever. And they haven't... Well, I don't know what issues they run into, but it's possible. So then, Nintendo only gives you jitter causing problem. Yeah, that's fair. Disney will always go after you. It will drain every penny from you they can get. But yeah, for some reason, the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, they are like very, very strict about emulating it. It's weird. Which is weird. It's like one of the most accessible ones, and like I don't think there's anything that you could do when you emulate it to like cheat in the game. It just makes it easier to like click through all the different screens. Like when I have to craft like 5 million tables or whatever to sell and get my money up or whatever. It's on my phone, it takes so long to switch between different ones that different screens of like click yes, that I ended up putting my phone down and like walking away because ADHD. And then I just forget. Jeez. I guess, I don't know. I was gonna say, I guess it is kind of difficult now to hold copyright, especially with the advancement of AI, which I haven't been like totally stoked on because of the way that it takes copyright images and shit like that. So I can understand why, but also, and like, you know, with Disney not caring who they go after or whatever, that going after regardless, it sets a precedent that people don't fuck with you. Like, at all. Only fueled by capitalism. Yeah. But the problem is that under capitalism, art has to be copywritten. So unfortunately, there hasn't been an ethical way to do the AI stuff. It's just exploiting artists for profit. It's the only way to keep... Yeah, that's the thing. Because, like, running my old emulators and stuff, I used to emulate, like, Excitebike and shit for Nintendo. And, like, that's pretty much the only way to like, do it. Because, I mean, you can get it on Switch, but it's not the same. They have Penguin Wars on Switch, too. I miss the original of that, though. So bad and dry that you could tell it's not stealing art. Yeah. And that's the problem, is like I've heard people, like, even people that I consider like peers and maybe would know better, being like creating AI album art, creating or selling AI art. It's like, you can't. I'll allow it. And I'm like, don't you know that like in a couple years you're gonna get tagged for stealing art? But whatever. To themselves. Never seen it. See, when it popped up that the thing was horror, I was like, oh great. This is gonna be a great way to stop the year. It was horror. But yes, I am a proud achievement whore. I am a completionist, whatever you want to call it. I haven't got to focus until like the end of last year-ish on actually getting to it. But yeah. She'll be back. Yeah. I am an achievement whore. I must achieve. Never really get anywhere. That's just normal now, apparently. I don't know. Like the first period of my life that I'm not like putting anybody above myself, so I hate people that initiate things they can't keep through though, to be honest. Like, you started this. You could have just left me alone. Oh. Do I like crystals? I do, but I'm not crystal girly. I don't know the proper terminology for that. Like, I do some of them. I have some, but because I use them in like spell jars and things, but I don't buy giant crystals or anything like that. My friend gave me a bag of crystals they were chakra crystals, so she gave them to me when I was in college. It was Nikki, that girl I talk about all the time that used to make me coffee every day and stuff. She gave me a bag of chakra crystals for meditation, and those are the ones I use. I do actually, but astrology is not like... Astrology is actually a science if you strip all of the capitalism, colonial shit out of it. It's a science that's been used for literally centuries. With results, but like, I don't know, I don't necessarily hold any like like, oh my god, you're a Pisces. Although I won't, never again dating Pisces. Because I already had a rule on that and I broke it and now I'm embarrassed. Don't break your rules for anybody. But yeah, there's something, I don't know enough to like really get into it and like really explain everything, but it interests me for sure. And there's stuff that's I think is feasible. And she's just laying in front of the chair. Did you get a little too warm? I definitely a little high. I usually keep all the heating pads on low for her. But it was kind of chilly in here and she was all sprawled out and enjoying it, so. Yeah. And like recently we read my birth chart. I think it was like one of my first weeks. Well, I know it was one of my first weeks back, but I forget what week it was. We read my birth chart and I found out that I'm not actually a water sign and I'm an air sign, and so much made, like, my life made so much more sense. Because like water signs are like emotional, like fueled by emotion, and that kind of thing. I'm only in that. I'm sure if I don't think I've read anybody's chart besides my own. One of my friends did it for me. But I'm only a super emotional person like that when my brain is like not healthy because of how I've been treated. So the fact that I'm an air sign actually just makes more sense for my natural personality. Just kidding. I'm guessing I'm a fire sign. Yeah, I don't know how any of that works. I know that like Cancer, Pisces, and is it Scorpio or water? And like Leo's fire, but I'm a Cancer, so I'm technically a water sign. But if you look at my birth chart, it's all Gemini, so I'm actually an air sign. I'm a Gemini. You just know. I look at it in every couple years and see like how because the first time it was done for me was in 2015, and I just keep the same chart and I review it every couple years and see like how much of it has played out and stuff like that for my personality, and every year it gets slightly more accurate. Yeah, I'm not sure what Sagittarius is, and I don't know totally what all that means. I know that your rising sign is like how your energy is like put out, I guess, because your sun sign like is the energy behind it. So like my sun sign is water sign, and then rising is what you do or how you direct that energy, which is why I don't read as a Cancer, because I don't direct my energy in an emotional way. I'm only like that when I'm broken. Dumb fucked up. I was looking at my notes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what. And there's a lot of signs that I don't have any experience with. Like, I have a lot of experience with Leos because my dad's a Leo. It's not a crack pipe, it's weed. You must be new here. Oh yeah, first time chat. First time chat, you called me a whore. Kidding. I'm an achievement whore. But I am a legal medical marijuana patient because I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and I live in a lot of pain. But yeah, Sagittarius isn't one of the signs that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with Taurus, Pisces, Leo. I think Virgos have been my best experience. Nikki was a Virgo. He's Leo. Yeah. Smoke one in solidarity. I am a legal user as long as I stay in the state and I can carry it. It doesn't matter how many containers I have. Sometimes I just like to keep things separate, you know? You can't do weed or else I get in trouble. I can't give up weed otherwise I get in trouble. No, it'd just be like probably too excruciating for me to keep up my work and everything that I do. I couldn't keep up my energy without it because the pain in my body just gets so excruciating by the end of the day. I'm miserable. But like, yeah, I've been a stoner since I was 17. I graduated high school top of my class, graduated college top of my class, like sustained this for multiple, well, I've worked for myself for like ever, for multiple years, so I don't know what would happen if I didn't have it. I would probably just contemplate life too much. Because my brain moves too fast for me to comprehend a lot of the time. Like, I can't comprehend what's going on in there, and the weed helps me slow it down and articulate it better. Actually feel my feelings and actually sit on thoughts for a few minutes instead of just constantly hopping and never knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. Speaking of which, it's kind of getting hard to watch the old streams. 2018 was fine because that was just me, but it's getting harder. But yeah, I wanted to watch that stream back from 2019 that we watched clips because I want to see which, like, what got lost, because I don't think I have all my clips. Some shit got lost along the way, which it's because Twitch did the DMCA thing and took down a bunch of my clips before I could take them down myself. And then once they did that, I took them all down myself. So that's why I don't have any clips on my channel. I used to do song request. Don't ever do song request. That'll fuck you every time. Oh. Yeah, just the year that I've been on YouTube and posting. That's where my clips are. Is YouTube. My streams are there too. Because Twitch doesn't hold on to them for more than, I think it's like 7 or 14 days if you're not a Prime person. And I am not a Prime person anymore because I'm poor. I have 2 Ratchet for Amazon Prime. 14, yeah. So I just put them up on YouTube. They stay there forever. So people like me who just like to like watch, or I put it on the background, not myself, but like when other people stream and they just like, I don't know, talk throughout and whatever, I typically just put those on in the background and just let them play all day long. It's like having what the fuck is the name? It's not Buddy. Body doubling. When you have someone there, like, and you guys are both doing a thing, but you're not doing the same thing. It's body doubling. Like, if I just need you to come talk to me while I do laundry or whatever, that's body doubling. Yeah, I just, as soon as the stream ends, I go straight into and put them up on YouTube because, I don't know, there's some things that, like, I don't want to lose, but, like, I just don't have the time to get to it. And speaking from experience, I don't have the memory storage to hold on to that many things. Like, the reason I can't really work through a lot of multiple video projects at a time right now is because my memory is so full from old streams or whatever that I have to go back and watch and see if they're worth putting up, because I had a problem. But it's just better that way. I love this song. There's actually a lot of really good no copyright songs. My list of permitted words. Always good for a laugh. Nice. The thing is, like, do I really want to watch a stream of me watching a stream? Because it's gonna be me watching my clips if I play it. Because last time it was a review, so I might just like clip that together in an edit or something for videos. But I can't work on that until I finish the project I'm working on, which is the one that I had COVID voice. And I'm actually, like, I'm loving. I think it's coming out so well. And the thing is, I had no plans. I didn't even know this thing existed until I was going through trying to clear out some of my storage and, like, watching the things that I recorded over the past couple of years. And I was like, dude, this is actually really good. So I put it into Adobe and just started working on it. And just going with, like, as I listen or whatever and I get an idea of something to put in for a visual or whatever, just going as I do, and it's just, I'm so happy with the way that it's coming out. But again, I don't remember how long it is, like 30 minutes or something, on like 10 on a rough edit, so it might be a bit before, depends. Like, if I hyper focus on it at some point before a stream or after a stream or on a Wednesday, it'll randomly get put up. I need better content plan, but right now my content plan is just to get through the content that I already have that needs to go up and be put on stuff. It's so bad. Yeah. One thing that I achieved this year is maintaining multiple e-commerce stores that all have 5 stars across the board. Top 40%. Killing it. My YouTube, I thought we might hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year, but we did not. We're at 96, I believe, which is fine. My clips go up as shorts, and a couple of them have really gone off. It's always the ones that I never think are going to, too. Like the one that I was just trying to solve a computer, like hacking a computer in Fallout. But yeah, the shorts views on there put me a lot closer to monetization than I literally thought I could ever possibly get, so I am really happy about that, and I'm really proud of that. Good things I did this year. The thing I did this year was choose myself. For once. Let's see how it goes. Some more stuff that needs to get sorted. But I don't want to make... I don't want to remake some stuff. This is huge. I used to use spreadsheets for everything, but having it like typed out, and like I used to do my journal, like I have my own personal Discord that I used to have that's just called like my brain, that I could put things that I needed to remember while my brain was healing. But for some reason it doesn't work as well for me when I type it out. I have to write it out. So like the planning that I did this morning was I took a bunch of old notes and stuff, and then with my new goals or whatever, and I do like I have a page that's just like money register, like what, because I have at least 8 income streams on different pages. So I do a money thing to track those, and I track that once to twice a week because it takes multiple days to do funds transfers from page to like bank account and stuff. So I usually do that every couple days, just so I can have an accurate number of where I am. And then I did a list of expenses, which obviously haven't had any expenses this year, but yesterday I had to do a site fee for one of my websites, so that was a big one. And then I have a page for like monetary goals, so like what I want to achieve to be able to handle things on my own, broken down. And then I did number goals, which is like what it is to get monetized on YouTube, what it is to get partnership on Twitch, and then my other pages is just like an income amount. And then I went through and did all the real numbers, and I do those once a week. That's usually Wednesday. I go through and see just how each page is doing and what the interaction is on everything. My brain, I am ADHD autistic. That's my neurotype. So I have to do things in a different way. Like typical planners don't work for me. And like I said, every time I tried using like a worksheet or like some kind of planner thing, it ends up being like what if I could just change this one thing, and then I end up redoing the entire sheet and making my own anyway. So I just did it in a notebook, and I just do like the page. And I usually don't even use the back of the papers, because when I'm flipping through, I don't focus as much on like the back, because I use like color stuff and it goes through and it's harder to read. So I just keep them on the front of the page, and then if I have any like notes or anything that don't matter, I just scribble them on the back. So like the money one, like they have different charts or whatever, they go either across or down, because like expenses is just gonna be a list down, but like each week I check in on like where money is at or where channel stats are at or anything like that. It's just gonna go like across the page so I can compare. And like, yeah, that stuff's all on my Twitch dashboard and on my YouTube dashboard, but I don't understand it. I mean, I get the gist of a lot of things, and I use the research to like schedule more things and whatnot, but I don't understand on the majority of the sites. Like, they all have like charts and shit. And I can't do it. I have to like physically see the numbers, so I write them physically so I know exactly where I'm sitting with everything. I do that probably twice a week. Usually Sundays and Wednesdays. I need all my links together. Yeah. I use this today. That's what the green one is. It's a daily worksheet. I didn't make it. It's the ADHD one from forever ago. But I typically just have like the weekly one, and then I have like a planner for daily, where I can put like appointments and shit like that. Or occasionally I just have like a day where I can't like write what I did until after I did it. So it's hard to track, like, what did you do? Like, oh, I cleaned or whatever. So I just kind of... But, like... I just put them right next to each other and, like, I use, like, different colors. So, like, when I finish something, like, I'll just do trash and then check it off. And then when I finish whatever the next task that my brain decides to do is, I go and write it down and check it off. And like, I know I guess it's counterintuitive to a to-do list to get you going, but this is something that I already do once, like, I wake up and my brain is already too fast to sit down and make a list. I just start acting, and then I stop and process what I did. And it works better for my ADHD brain. So I did a lot of the cleaning and stuff yesterday, which is why those are all, like, full. Just like individually, like, because I can't just put like clean bathroom or whatever on the list, because there's so many different parts that I'll be paralyzed of thinking, because my brain can't process like the amount of time that something takes. So if you say clean bathroom or whatever, my brain is just gonna be paralyzed. Where do I start? What are the steps? What all needs to be done? What tools do I need? How much time is this gonna take? You know. And with cleaning the bathroom, a lot of my stuff is like I spray and then like I have to let it sit. And if I let it sit and then forget or whatever, you end up with like weird marks and stuff. Like, I'm talking about like shower stuff, because I spray the shower with like bleach stuff, and then in like a few minutes, like 10 or 20 minutes, you have to go rinse it off. Otherwise, it has like weird spots on the shower. So I have to sit down and either break up, like if I'm in a really fuzzy mindset, like brain fog, can't come up with the components myself, I will sit down and individually write all of the little tasks, like wipe down the sink, do this to the floor, like those things. But when my brain is going so fast that I can't write down and I just act, then I do like every little thing that I do, like I'll sweep the floor and then I'll come and sit, because my heart and everything, and I get out of breath. So I'll do that. I'll sweep the floor, and then I'll come and sit in my chair and, you know, sweep the floor and take a drink and listen to whatever I'm listening to. And then I get up and do another thing. And it's just constantly until I feel like I'm done. And some days, like Saturday, I ran out of space on the day, because I did so much that I ended up writing down all the individual bits. And that way, like, if I don't finish the whole clean bathroom or whatever, then the next day or the next couple days when I go in to complete the task or whatever, I know which parts have already been done because my brain can't hold on to those. It's like, I swear I just wiped this down a couple days ago, but it'll actually be like a month memory that my brain is playing. So it's like, I have accurate timelines of when I actually do things. I have to write them down. But that's how I sorted my brain. Because with the difficulty with like not knowing how much time something takes and things like that, it's difficult for me. Like, if say I have a stream scheduled at 4 or whatever, and I want to edit a video beforehand or whatever, my brain will be absolutely paralyzed on starting that thing because I feel like I'm going to completely forget to look at the clock, and just by the time I pay attention, it's gonna be like 8 o'clock, I missed my stream, like I fucked up or whatever. So I've taken to like blocking my time off. So I have like my morning period, which is, you know, like it's now like 10 to 3. If I get up earlier, it's earlier. That's where I can do some kind of task. Like today I did planning and goal focus, things like that. Numbers of where I am. All that kind of goes into one day. It's like admin stuff. And then I have the secondary block of the day, which is like the evening, which is when I stream, or I'll switch to a different task on Wednesdays usually. Like, I'll edit pictures in the morning, and then when it hits like the afternoon block or whatever, I'll switch to a video or a game if I want to like take some time off for myself because my brain needs a rest. Then I have that block of time to game, and I'm not wasting my entire fucking day. And then I do my night regimen and my morning regimen exactly the same every day. So my autism can feel comfortable in the routine, but my ADHD has enough nuance and enough space to do whatever I want. And now that I'm writing down what I'm doing and processing what I'm doing and all that I can get done in a period of time and things like that, I'm getting a lot better at predicting how long things take so I can do more like before streams and whatever. Which was a worry for me, which is why I was sticking to 3 o'clock every day. But I think like with the interaction and everything, that people don't really come in for like the first hour or whatever. But I was really, really hesitant to start at 4 because it's hitting that like evening point. And I might miss it because I'm doing something else that I got so into in the morning that I just completely forgot that I'm supposed to do something at 4. So I'm getting better at predicting like how long things take and realizing like I guess that when you put like videos into like the portrait format for like TikTok and Reels and stuff like that, my brain is always like, man, that takes so fucking long because it's fucking tedious and it feels like forever in my brain, but it's not actually forever. Turns out I can do like 10 or 15 in an hour of like clips, 1 minute long, 2 minutes long, just reformat it, export. And I'm like, this used to take me all fucking day. Like all day. To do stupid things like that. Like going to my YouTube and make sure that my most recent videos are in their proper playlist. Used to take for fucking ever. I used to spend like all day on it so I wouldn't be able to stream or do anything else because I was just doing tedious admin shit. So that's good. That was one positive of like healing. That's been one positive healing my brain. I feel like all of it's been positive. If I'm going into a negative direction with healing, maybe I'm not necessarily looking at things objectively. Because you gotta get really bad for your brain to break and your nervous system to like actually shut down. Which is like basically what happened. So if I was getting worse, that'd be a point of concern. But I'm not. I'm getting a lot better. And I'm really happy and really proud of how far that I've come. And it's taken a lot of work. And it's very hard work. It's very hard. But I couldn't be happier with like the results that I've had. 10 out of 10, do recommend. It's all about too what works for your brain, because a lot of stuff that I was trying for years and years of doing things the right way or the way that you're supposed to and all that stuff, and none of it was fucking working. It was just making me worse. And so I started just doing things that I felt that I needed to. Like when I feel like I need to write a bunch of shit down, just do it. Just fucking do it. And then once I do it, everything goes better. Which I guess kind of falls into like how like people talk about wanting to do alchemy, which is basically just transmutation of energy for like manifestation, or like why aren't my manifestations coming true and things like that. The thing to alchemy or true alchemy is doing the thing that you've been avoiding the longest, or the thing that is the hardest for you, or the biggest mountain or whatever, and nobody but you can decide what that thing is. And if you're like, I don't know if it's this or if it's this, do it both. Do it both. And once you start doing and tackling the things that you've been avoiding for so long, that's when the energy can fully be transmuted into things that you actually want. But if you're constantly avoiding yourself and avoiding the pain that you cause, the things you fuck up, stuff like that, if you keep avoiding it, then you're not ever going to manifest. You're just going to manifest more inner turmoil, which is going to reflect in your reality. Which sucks. I have a habit of doing that, of saying something like really thought out, and then just like being like, I don't know, and laughing or whatever. Just being like, butts. That's probably why people underestimate my intelligence. My intelligence gets underestimated a lot, but so does my my strength. I think people think I'm harmless, so they can fuck with me. You'll figure out that's not smart. A lot of the time I let myself be fucked with too, but it was just because I wanted. I guess it equated approval with safety, security. So as long as I'm doing something that the people around me approve, then I'll be okay. I'll be safe. But that doesn't work. It will actually do the opposite. But yeah, that's just what I think about every time that like one of my like ADHD mountains gets too big, because sometimes like I can just sit there and like when I wake up in the morning I can sit down at this desk and do fucking all of my work shit, run the 9 different pages. Those are just the commerce, that's not even the socials, so I don't know what the true number is, but I could do it and get to all of them or whatever. But I struggle with things like dishes and washing my face after I put makeup on. Just like normal human things. Eating when I'm supposed to eat. Feeling thirsty. So every time I'm like at a thing that like when the dishes get really high and I'm avoiding it or whatever, if things start to go wrong for me, I hit that because it helps clear out, I guess, some of the energy. And I don't clear out some of the energy. That's not scientific. It's just like the way I feel. So if I'm avoiding that and then things start to like not go well, I'm like, oh, alchemy, I gotta tackle the mountain to get the good things. And so it helps not sit in that everything's happening to me, everything's getting in the way, it means I'm not meant to do this, like all that whole like lack mindset, victim mentality. It helps to stay out of that because you're like, oh, I can do this thing that I'm avoiding, and maybe maybe that'll change things. And, you know, a lot of it's probably on an energetic, spiritual level that you feel it, but like in practicality, I think, like, in practicality, it makes sense to tackle the hardest thing, and then everything after that won't be as difficult. Like, it just makes practical sense. But the feeling that I have when I actually do these things isn't, it's not just like this, it's not the same. Sorry, I got really distracted by the music for a second. Something about that hit my brain in a weird way, and I like couldn't think. But I think that really helps a lot. But also, I know that people fucking hate hearing it, but gratefulness. It's like, how am I supposed to be grateful for all these things that are constantly interrupting my life or whatever? Like, you gotta be grateful for the things. Because, like I said, at the beginning, or like last night, I was thinking, like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not, you know, working hard enough, I didn't accomplish enough, all of that. And then I stopped and gave myself some perspective, and I was like, literally 5 months ago, you couldn't sit up. And it's like, oh, okay, I can relax, I can be grateful for the things I have. I've made fantastic progress in a very short amount of time. It's just because I'm already at the point, like, once I hit the healed point or whatever, I'm back into like work mode and everything, so my brain's like constantly, you're never doing enough, you could always be doing more, you could always be learning, you could always be doing something. And I guess, like, the truth of it is, like, I know myself, and I know that those are the things I will seek out anyway, so I don't have to like force myself. So like, right, like the things that I was listening to yesterday, because I like to listen to people talk as I clean and like walk around and shit and do all that. The stuff that I was listening to was like how to plan channels and everything, but I also been listening to a lot of Leo Skeppy, which I do recommend a lot. Unless you're soft, then don't do it. But I love him because a lot of the things that I had the same feeling, but I just couldn't articulate how I approach things in a different way. And he approaches things in a similar way, and he articulates it a little better. So I listen to those, and like, not only is it like learning when you watch it the first time or whatever, but if I play it again, because my brain isn't going to be actively listening to it because I have ADHD, it's just going to be noise or whatever, I'll listen to the same ones again, because it's kind of like affirmations in a way. Like, if you're hearing these things over and over again, it helps solidify them in your brain. And obviously the things to solidify are the things that you value and hold close. So taking those things that I value and putting it in a way that I guess it can be explained in a short, succinct way or whatever. It puts it in a, like, when it's shorter of a thing to understand in my brain, it's easier to like repeat and teach and things. Because saying it in a really long-winded way, somebody might not understand exactly what you're saying. I speak in a very long-winded way. People misunderstand me all the time. But it's like, it's bound to happen. It's just the way my brain works. Somebody asked me something, like a question, like ask me a question or something. It's like, it's like, I can give you the answer, but there's so much that I have to like say to get you on the same page. Otherwise, I sound insane. And a lot of the time it's because like the things that I say and the things that I reference are the things that I like compare the analogies I make are references to things. So if I don't know that you know this thing, then I have to give all the context of what the fuck I'm saying. I don't understand fishing metaphors. That's what I mean. See? That's from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, because his dad is trying to like give him a pep talk and give him positive advice, but he's a fisherman, so he only knows how to put it in the context of fishing. So when Flint is going through these hard things as a kid, and he's giving him the words that his dad's giving him the words that he just doesn't understand, or the metaphors he doesn't understand, like his brain's just like, I don't understand fishing metaphors. So I have to make sure you're on the same page. And like it gets less like hesitancy. It like once I know you know the thing. Like the longer we've been friends, I can just say the things, and you'll understand what I mean. To the point that like in high school, they used to like tease me, or not tease me. This wasn't part of my bullying or whatever. It was like my friend group or whatever. There was specific people that said that they could speak my language because they could understand what the fuck I was saying. I sound like I'm off some shit, but I promise it's grounded if you if you actually put it together in the way that it's meant to be. Since I'm not necessarily good at delivering it that way. I don't know, man. It's a weird one. That's why it's difficult for me to have conversations. Because there's so much context that I don't know if you have it or not. Sometimes just doing the hard thing is the answer. But sometimes you can't wait for the hard thing to get easier. You could do hard things. I can do it. See, that's from Uncanny Counter. We can do it. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't have to schedule time or whatever that I'm going to listen to this specific podcast or read the specific book or whatever, because I trust that that's because where my interest is now, I'm gonna do it anyway. That like I don't have to write a lot of work stuff down. It's just the human stuff that I'm bad at. I'm not good at being a person. That's why I always say that ADHD autistic is going to be the one that shakes your brain and turns it into a computer. Live forever as a machine. For real. I don't know, I just like to be talked to when I'm trying to do stuff. So that's why I like all of my video recommendations are just long form speaking. Usually when I shake my head, I'm having an unrelated thought and I probably couldn't vocalize what it is. Not great at that.
Told myself to push and never stop. I've been stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock. With my eyes wide, trying to get the panorama shot. Whole world
I gotta get. I have to get all my links together in one place and figure out what they are. It's so bad. I think I need a content calendar or something to figure it out, because back with the clips and everything, it's... See, YouTube, you can schedule months in advance, but TikTok, I think it only does like 2 weeks in advance. And Instagram, you can't schedule reels at all. It says you can, but you can't. It's a lie. It doesn't work. Not yet. So it's difficult to see like where I have everything because I'm uploading my catalog before I can really create, just because of literal storage space. That sucks. My lips are really dry. My hands are really dry too. Everything's dry. Everything's glue. I'm excited though. I don't know, like, after what I upload, I don't know what I want to do after that. I do know that we have the 420 show, always. 420 every year we do You Laugh, You Lose, community submitted. So if we can get some videos for that, we'll be doing that. And I'm gonna stay on the 3 games that I'm playing now, at least for the time being, because I'm working on 100%ing Achievement Horror. But for Mondays, I like to have more structured things. I think it's... I don't know, I like having like a chatting stream where like I can just talk about like what I'm making and what has been made and what's been released and stuff for the past week, usually. And I can do some art during the stream if I want to, which I guess I could do. I could work on Nemesis, so I still got a couple hours. And I'm mostly through. I'm through the accomplishments I wrote down. I'm mostly through. Everything. I'm trying to just process, I guess, the last year that's happened. It's been a long time since the last few months of the year were this peaceful for me, so that's something to really celebrate. I can look at all the things I lost. And, you know, the work into pages that no longer exist and all of that, and be like, well, it's wasted time. But the thing is, I learned skills so I can just do it again. I learned skills. I know what I'm doing now. So not only do I have like marketing skills, but I have editing skills because of all of that shit that I went through, of starting things that just kept failing over and over again. It's not failing, I guess, because my Instagram and my TikTok and stuff didn't fail. Neither did my YouTube. My YouTube did pretty good too. I got so burnt out that I couldn't make anything. I couldn't upload anything. I couldn't be on camera. I couldn't, like, I literally couldn't do anything. It was horrible. So, and being in a situation where you're just, sometimes what I call it, I describe it as kind of like locked in syndrome. But that's more like somebody who's in like a coma or in a surgery who's like awake and aware but can't like move their body. But in a way, that's kind of how some of my stuff feels, because it can get literally paralyzing where I can't move. I can just get stuck on whatever it is, because my brain can't land on what the next step is, what the next thought is, like whatever. And so it feels a lot like I'm like locked in, especially like when you're sick and you can't do the things. You have all these ideas and all these things that you want to make, but you just like literally can't make them because you're sick. You're locked in bed. But when I get super in my head too, and I just like stare, zone out, it's usually there's something going on behind, and it's like that I want to say something or I want to do something, and I just can't because I cannot. There's something wrong with the thought to action sequence in my brain that has to be like fabricated in some way. But taking something is like, I need to do this, and to actually doing it, my brain can't always just do it. So it just feels locked in because I have just a bunch of these I need to do, I should do, I want to do, just building up and building up when I'm literally doing nothing. I'm just staring, scrolling through my phone or whatever. It feels like being locked in. And like, I had a rib out for like a year. Like, my rib popped out of place for like a year, so I couldn't stand for more than 2 minutes. It was excruciating, so I obviously couldn't do anything. And I never like stopped trying either, of making it work of however I was, because like there was a point that I was in bed that I like set things up so I could create something, and it didn't end up working. Or I kept recording like when I would play games and stuff of significant things that would happen with the intention of like making a video later, and never actually getting to it because you don't have the energy or ability to open those files. It's like being locked in. So when I start to get locked in, I start doing the alchemy thing in my brain and being like, what is the big thing that's I'm avoiding right now? And usually once you get through that, then you can start actually, getting the inertia to do the things that you want and should do. At least that's how I do it. And when you do the thing that you've been avoiding for so long, you have to give yourself like a way to celebrate, because a lot of the times in the ADHD brain, we don't get the same dopamine or feeling of accomplishment from accomplishing the task. It doesn't feel like it's done, or it doesn't feel like we overcame something. It's just like, I did that, so now I'm gonna have to do it again in a week, So you have to like fabricate your own dopamine out of it. And so if you're, tackling your mountains, doing alchemy, whatever in your brain makes those things feel like more of an accomplishment, definitely try to keep that, because that's it's so easy to discredit yourself on anything. It's the gremlins. It's the brain gremlins. Gotta shut him up by being, I'm just doing alchemy. Oh, ridiculous. Whatever gets you through. Sometimes using your imagination is the best option. Sometimes delusions are good. And I know it's a loaded statement, but I'm not, I was gonna say I'm not talking about like mental health delusion, but in a way it is all the same. What I mean is, most people need a healthy amount of delusion, which is why religion exists. Because if you don't have like an internal value system, and your values are determined by what's around you, what the rules are around you, or whatever, if you don't have something giving you those rules, then you can't really function. That's what I mean by necessary delusion. So if you believe that God is watching you, or whatever helps you do the tasks, I found that a lot of the intentions behind the practices are the same. Whether it's Christianity, Wiccan, whatever, it's mostly the same. They just go by different turns. Prayers are manifestations. Giving it to God is letting it go. It's all the same. That's why there's no proselytizing, because it's all the same. That's why it's a rule of my channel, no proselytizing. It's all the same and I can prove it to you and you won't like it. I don't think I can imagine a better place to start out in the year though. Like, I guess not physically, but because, you know, gestures and everything. But like, a lot of the times when you're like, it's similar thoughts. A lot of times when you're starting a new habit or something, you have difficulty initiating it or starting or whatever. But a lot of it is your brain doesn't have a memory or a solid base of you doing that thing. So like, you know, I journal every day or I read every day, and then, you know, one day you don't do it and the whole thing's fucking ruined. Things like that. It's just because your brain doesn't have an accurate representation of like you doing that thing if you haven't done it yet. So the brain gremlins can convince you it's not possible. Brain loves self-sabotage. Because growing and admitting where you fucked up and when you fucked up is not an ideal. Most people don't do that because they think it makes them weak or makes them less than for being wrong or whatever, what have you. But in my opinion, it's not how a person fucks up that says a lot about their character, unless it's a clear pattern of behavior. Then yeah, it does. But when someone says so, it doesn't say anything about their behavior. It's how they respond to it and how they move on from that point, how they make it right with people that they hurt and never do that thing, or, you know, change their behavior or whatever it is. It's been a lot of learning. If you don't keep your brain able to learn and able to change, just solidifies more in that wrongness, and then you get boomers. So the lead stare always gets me. But when your brain gets like solidified one way, there becomes a point that I guess you can't change. And I never want to reach that point. I never want to reach a point that if somebody tells me that what I'm doing hurts them or something, that I'm gonna keep doing that thing intentionally. Or when I notice that there's something in my behavior that is not good or healthy, and I just ignore it and keep doing it. I can't imagine. So I have to constantly stay teachable, constantly learn, constantly reinvent. And it's like every time I go through one of those things where I have, I guess, a bigger understanding. My nose is fucking itchy again. It happens every time. Every time I have like a big change, realization, learning period, a lot of the time it happens kind of suddenly for me. It's just like one day I believe this, the next day I don't. I realize it's not healthy and it's just changed. I lose my way a little bit sometimes. Into the fog. I probably should take a break. I'm feeling almost stony. And I need a snack. Zony. My nose is fucking itchy. Hold on, I feel like I was in the middle of something and I don't. I remember what it was. My brain's a fun place sometimes. I get lost a lot, but most of the time I find my way back. It's fun to get lost. It's fun to learn. Oh, every time I have one of those like big understandings, I have to like go through and like sort most things in my life. Whether it be my room or whatever. And I have to like assess almost everything. Like almost every individual thing that's like, does this fit my new understanding of things? And if it doesn't, then I have to get rid of it. And that's how like I ended up losing, like not losing, but that's why I shut down my pages, because at the point it was just causing me harm, having that much exposure and shit. And so I just, cut it out. But every time I feel like I have to like, not, I guess, rebuild from like rubble. I don't know. Because all the pieces just get scattered like along the way, and I have to like go through and pick all of them up and see which ones I still need and get rid of the rest. And it makes room for whatever this new understanding brings to me, which is another thing in, I guess, in the alchemy manifestation situation, is if you're not giving something up, or if you're not making space and like tidying and cleaning your shit, then your manifestations don't have space to come in. Where are you making the space? Because if you're not making the space and making the changes, then they're not going to come. Which is part of, for me, it's part of tackling your biggest mountains and stuff. Because those are usually the making space things that I'm struggling with. So if you don't make the space, then you can't have the thing. But I feel like I can't have a solid grasp or a solid understanding again and get back on my feet unless I assess like all of the things around me. Resort everything, make sure everything is put where it's supposed to be. And like the way I sort things is always like what I use the most, I guess, what's beneficial to like my day-to-day life, which is why I have a kettle on my desk. Having my kettle there and having my tea every day is super important for me, and I have a very difficult time once I sit down and start working and start opening the websites and stuff. I don't like get up to make my tea, so I put it on my desk to make it easier. And so every time I go through one of these things that like changes my understanding of myself or my environment, I have to completely like reassess everything and resort it so it fits the new situation. Otherwise I feel like everything is just like lost in the blackness in my mind. Like it's all floating everywhere, and I feel like if the things are always floating and you don't have like I don't have a solid knowledge of like where my things are and where I stand physically, mentally, or whatever, then like it's gonna take me a second. I lost it. It's been a while since I've had to verbalize my thoughts for long periods of time. it feels like I have to constantly remember those things, if that makes sense. So like if I don't put like, for the most basic understanding, if I don't put like a label on like, I guess if I don't put like a label on a box or whatever, then I just have to remember what's in that box. And so like if I ever need what's in the box, if it's not labeled or whatever, I just have to constantly have that knowledge accessible in my brain. It's something that I always have to keep in mind. It's not something that I can look at and then remember, oh, this is what's in there. And no matter how many times I've tried that, it does not work. So like actually putting a label on something and being able to write things down and, you know, different information and categorize it or put it on, you know, a sheet of paper with a title, whatever, allows me a better understanding, because if things get too like floaty and I'm trying to remember all like the little things, I can't remember the important things like the stream and the narratives that I'm telling and things like that. It's just floating information in my head that I have to constantly actively remember, or I will forget that I own whatever's in that box. So labels actually really help, and writing things down really helps because it solidifies that thing into existence, that it doesn't have to be a floating thought anymore. If that makes sense. So when I like have this different understanding or whatever, I have to go through and put my belongings in the, whether it's, you know, information, physical belongings, you know, things that I need to do, whatever. If I put them in like the physical categories and can drop the things that I don't need or whatever, it allows for a clearer space and a more focused space to continue what I'm doing without being too all over the place and too jumpy. Because if I'm trying to like, if my brain is like make emotes and it's also like make this video or whatever, like while I'm making the video I'll be thinking about emotes the entire time, or, you know, whatever it is, and feeling like that I'm not going to get to it unless I do it right now, and having to constantly switch between tasks and whatever to be able to remember the ideas that I had. Now if I just write them down, I don't have to do all that, and I can actually like focus my way through a video or completing a task, which is again why I have all my emotes now. First time I've ever had all the slots full. And I did them myself. I didn't buy them or anything. Not that I have anything wrong with it, obviously, because I'm going to sell them. Not mine, but I'm going to sell digital stuff on Etsy. It's just because I don't have funds, if I'm able to do it myself and do it in a acceptable, or, you know, acceptable plus. If I do it in an acceptable plus way, then it, you know, feels more of an accomplishment than just getting the dopamine of purchasing the thing and having this new shiny thing. I guess. Yeah. My brain's changed a lot. It's a different place now, but it's a much calmer place. I don't think I could. I definitely couldn't survive it. I was gonna say, I don't think I could survive with it being like that much longer, but I literally couldn't. That's why my nervous system broke. I couldn't take it anymore, and it's because I had too much just constantly floating. Like, obviously there's different reasons, and actual, like, physiological reasons and everything, but constantly sort of, like, writing the information down or anything, constantly having to have that stuff, like, floating in your brain and everything, it gets completely overwhelming. It's like a constant like bombardment of information, but it's like repeated information. It's just like, I don't know, carrying all the shit that you have in your attic just on your back all the time, and eventually it's just too heavy and you have to sort it into the boxes and put it back in the attic. But if I don't know what's in the attic, then I can't put things there. Like, if I don't know what's gonna go there, or what each thing is. What is storage stuff versus what is usable? And do I need to carry this narrative about myself everywhere, or can I just accept something lighter? Lighter and more authentic. I made a video with this song once, but can't bring it back. I think I'm going to take a break in a sec, and then I was thinking about going back to Nemesis and doing some work. But that, I don't know, that seems like a decent format for me. A couple hours of talking and then a couple hours of art. Because if I just do art the whole time, I will just get so zony and not say shit. And my brain needs to say shit, otherwise it gets too cluttered and I can't do it anymore. I got too much attic shit on my back. So that's what I guess yesterday and the day before were me like cleaning and re-understanding and everything again. My metamorphosis does not happen on your clock. Time is an illusion. It does not abide by the laws of physics. I feel like people please it and you're like, I'm changing my brain and whatever. You're a much better person to be around. When you have actual thoughts. You can't have the depth. You can't be there for people with the depth that a lot of times they need. Because you haven't met yourself that far. Yes, this is also the drink your ass stream. My mod shit. Why is that a permitted term? Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break, grab a snack, go pee, and then I will start working on Nemesis. Just because I wanna. Because I already started this one in Photoshop. Keep doing it. But my new stuff was in Krita. I'll probably end up doing it most in Photoshop though, because there's a specific thing that I want. It's like a specific style. I did not mean to do that. Ah, there we go. I'll get Justin on the screen. I adjusted some settings on this camera so it's not, because for some reason it's automatically darker than the other ones. So it has some settings, so it might look a little weird. I haven't perfected them. Bring the music in. Let's get all the audio from my drawing. That'll work. Why you gotta be such a problem? It's my fault. I didn't really plan to do art, but I didn't really know what I was going to do. Because I know that after a while I run out of things to say. Yeah, see, I expanded the... Ooh, a little too close. So, like, here, my outlines aren't as thick, and there's some places that see through. Just because I made it like a full body thing. It just doesn't have very much detail on the body yet. Because I didn't finish the detail on the top. I didn't tell any of that. I am happy with it, how far it's come, then. It's a drastic difference from last year. Now we're in detail. I must have been editing pictures. Painting big things, Jesus. I was expecting it to be set up. I guess I did, because I did some issues last week. My screen has something on it. To be honest, I think it's like cleaner because I was spraying the desk, but who knows? Could also be like barbecue sauce. That's who I am. I don't know what it is about my brain that's like, this needs a dark outline. But my brain is very, this needs a dark outline. It doesn't matter if I intend to do it or not. It always happens. Maybe someday I'll grow past it. The teeth were so much fun. That's why there's kind of like a gap between the outline and the pictures, because I expanded it. I made it gigantic. Because I like having like the actual, when it's like a big portrait like this, when it's just an emote, I do like 500 by 500. But when it's something like this, I do like 5,000 by 5,000, so I can zoom in and do all this detail. And it just looks awesome when you zoom out. Like leveled up my art skills so much last year. Not just what I made, but the quality that it is. I keep having big level up. It's like, it's usually like, I don't know, like I get this idea to put the like the dark lines or whatever, the dark skin color lines, and I'll just go through the portrait and be like, this should be here, this should be here, and then I zoom out and I go. And then I start applying that technique to different things because I realized that it looked better. And a lot of with art, I think having a tablet helped me a lot with this, as opposed to like drawings and stuff, is because it's really easy to undo your mistakes. It's easier when you hit the point of frustration to not rage quit if you're on like a digital, well, if I'm on like a digital tablet versus being on just like my sketchbook. There's a point that I get frustrated with erasing and stuff and it not looking the way that I want it to look and all of that. Ah! The start menu attacked me with all the news, and it was pictures of old people. And by that I mean Joe Biden. I don't want to know what's going on with Joe Biden. I find it's a lot easier for me to persevere and stuff like this. And like being digital. Because a lot of the time, like the answer to get the shape that I want or whatever that I want is to just keep going. Like when it gets super ugly, don't start over. Just keep going. And I can't tell you, like with the Madam President emotes, I have never drawn a cat before. Besides, like, you know, that's round with the stick legs. Like, never drawn a cat before. And so I started doing it for the emote because I wanted it for the emote. And the biggest thing was to just not stop, to just keep making the shapes, and eventually they will fit what you want them to fit. And like I always say, sometimes you gotta make nightmares. Sometimes you gotta make nightmares before you make anything good. And one day you will look back fondly at those nightmares you made. I would, but I'm a perfectionist, so I threw them away. Ah. Crippling perfectionism. I guess I should say I used to. That was another thing that I worked on healing a lot last year. Sometimes you gotta do things badly on purpose just to either one, get it done and get it off the mountain, or because I don't know, because you're not necessarily going to do it either way. Sometimes you just don't have the energy to do something whole ass, and it's okay to half ass. Most of the time. Just make sure you keep your priorities on what can be half assed. Sure, it's not something precious and glass in your life. One thing I really am proud of in the last year that I've gotten a lot better at is not reacting. People do fucked up shit to me. And someone's yelling at you or trying to manipulate you to just stay level-headed and not get dysregulated. I never thought I would ever accomplish that. Again, I thought I was a super emotional person that always it's gonna be that way, but apparently not. It's only when I'm dysregulated. I thought that I would be the person to have like a big emotional moment every time. And it was just something that I was gonna have to get better at. And it turns out it's not normal to be like that. But I figured for like Mondays if I implement the show again. Thank you, I appreciate it. I know a lot of my audience is lurkers, but that's because That's who I am on the platform, so that's typically who I make content for. So it never bothers me. I think at least 3 times a year we have to go through the whole Twitch and calling out lurkers etiquette. In my opinion, you never do that. If I'm sitting in the chat and you see me, oh my god, I want to disappear so fast. Yeah, that's why I never have my view count on. I never have, like, I never look at who's in the users, anything like that. Because I don't want to know. The times that I want to know are the times that I sit down to do my numbers. And then I have, like, the mental preparation and stuff for it. It used to be because I was, like, less talkative when people weren't as active in the chat, I think. But now it's more like, if the number is bigger than I expect it to be, I'll get too nervous and I'll be like, shut up. Because this is just me in my bedroom. I'm making a thing for you too. I think that helps with the mentality too of like, I'm not gonna build this army up. Now you're distracted.
Anxiety taking over me, I can't be the only one left. No, society breaking up on me, I just wanna be fair.
But like with social media and stuff, typically, because they're like dopamine slot machines, the dopamine comes from the sharing. Like when I post it, people react to it and whatever, and you have to find a way to shift it to the creation instead of the reception. Otherwise, well, every time I say you, I'm talking about like a hypothetical you. I'm not telling anybody specifically what to do, because I say you when I'm like hypothetically talking to like my best self. I mean, like, you have to, you don't, I'm not ever saying that anybody has to do anything. I'm speaking of what I had to do. It's just, I typically put things in use sentences. I just speak from knowledge, anecdotal evidence, and my own personal experience. So take most things I say with that. I could turn anything into a science by writing it down in accuracies and whatever, but I won't. I won't take proving you wrong into a science. One thing that you can't control is other people, so when it comes to like who's watching or what the reception is of whatever it is you're doing, then that puts like, it puts too much brain steak into making something perfect or amazing. By brain state, I guess I mean like energy. Brain space. I gotta get headphones. I don't know, I just had those site expenses, so I'm not gonna be able to do anything for a bit. I like it looking sharper. It looks too dull when it's all stretched. And the outlines don't sit right.
Now to strike.
Yeah, I think for the Monday show, I'll probably have a couple topics prepared for like the first 2 hours. We can do discussion stuff. And we can do cards. Things like that. And then I'll pick like an art project. Or maybe that'll just be my Nemesis time. Sometimes you just gotta do things for yourself. And this is... Obviously, it's not something I can sell or ever do anything with because it's a copyright person. Person? Well, I mean, he's Maddie. I don't know. I think I gotta play the Resident Evil games again, which I didn't get far. I think the first, second, and the 7th. Now I get too motion sick, which I think I might have actually had like a breakthrough. I'm gonna go get my eyes checked soon. I gotta make the appointment or whatever. But I think it might be my eyes, the reason why I get so motion sick. And why, theoretically, because we talked about this before on the channel, taking a stimulant medication should help me with my equilibrium problems because it is a factor of ADHD and EDS, but it helps medicate it. But if my eyes are doing what I think that they're doing, then it would cause issues with that as well. Or like not being able to judge where I am in space and things like that. And by that I mean like when you talk about judging where your hand, like where things, like if I go to like reach for, you know, my lighter on the desk or whatever, I won't be where my brain thinks I am. So I end up either going too far and knocking it off the table, or not far enough and not being able to grab it. My brain has no idea where I am most of the time. I don't know why that made me think about it, but it did. For some reason, like, stores, like superstores and things like that, that all have the same layout inside, give me super, super bad dissociation. Like, nothing melts my brain. Like, there's a Walmart here that has the exact same floor plan as the Walmart in Arizona that I used to frequent. And it was years ago now. I was walking around it with Ren, and for a minute I realized that it was the same like layout, and my brain like couldn't figure out where I was. Or like if I had just like transported back to Arizona. If I even knew this person I was with, that's how bad it was. And it was just momentary, but it was terrifying. But like, what other situation does that happen? Like, that's just a capitalism thing, right? It would make complete sense if it fucked with your brain. Like, it gives me almost that like same sick feeling that being around giant things is, which is like so the megalophobia. Rosie the shark is my worst nightmare. It'd be funny to make Rosie emotes. It'd be nauseous the whole time. I thought that was a normal thing that people felt. Like somehow you can feel it in your entire body. Just a wee bit nauseous on the bottoms of your feet, you're like tingling. I'm so weird. My cup. Because I'm disappointed. I only had 2 of my favorite tea bags left, and I made my first tea this morning, and apparently my milk went off. So first tea ruined. Can I make the second one without milk? But it's the last one. And so I just want my same tea that I have every day. And because I didn't like finish that process of having the tea or whatever, my brain keeps like thinking it's an open loop. It's not. No matter how many times I reach for that cup, it is not gonna have a hot tea with milk in it. So I don't have milk, and now I'm out of tea bags as well. Well, I'm out of the special ones here. The regular tea bags.
This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your home.
I also want to find, I don't know where to even begin, but to find somebody to print my merch. Because I could do print on demand. That's what we did last time. I'm pretty sure we did it through Spreadshirt, and the quality of the shirts is not bad. Like, I don't feel ashamed to put my name on it. But at the same time, I feel like if I had like a small business do it or something, that the quality would be like just a notch. Like, I just want that like extra, the extra eye, you know? So if something doesn't exactly look right or fit, they'll say something, as opposed to like something that you just upload an image. They're not gonna tell you that aesthetically it looks weird. And I need someone to be real with me and be like, that looks weird. but just print a few things. Obviously, I can't print like this. I used to have a pop socket with the Fight Me on it, the old one. Actually, it might still be on Amazon. I doubt you can buy it, but you can probably find a listing. And I had shirts, and the shirts were really good. I have 2 of them still. And I have the image. It just doesn't have, like, on the old ones at the bottom it says Liviana. It won't say that. It'll just have the girl. And I think I'm gonna keep the skull. I did take the skull off the background and the ones underneath it and put it on a phoenix, but now I'm looking at it and I don't like it as much. So I'll probably keep that. And I just need somebody to print them. Yeah, I don't know if it would be better to print like a small amount and just sell those, or like pre-order or whatever. But that's on the list. Along with everything else. Crisp lines. Get some shading and then I'm going to redo, but we'll see. I'll let my future brain be the judge of that one. Right here, I'm just making fuzzy lines not fuzzy anymore. It's easier that way. My throat just forgot to throat. Yeah, that whole like randomly choking on your own spit and everything, I thought that was like, even though I was sitting there doing nothing, wasn't eating anything, wasn't drinking anything, I thought that was a normal human thing, but apparently that's an EDS thing. Also, people with like the EDS, hypermobility, whatever, we have better vocal range than most people. Perks of being bendy. That was just a random thing that I learned about being hypermobile. I don't have like the stretchy, I can't do the stretchy skin as much as most people, or as some hypermobile people, but my windpipe does move. Does it freak me out sometimes? Yes. But I guess in the long run, it can't be collapsed as easy. If someone punches me in the throat, it's not gonna break my windpipe. Why would somebody punch you in the throat? Don't ask questions. Just being stupid. I don't know why, but that was something that like freaked me out as a kid. the threat of getting hit in the windpipe. Trachea, whatever. It's like one of those things that you thought you'd have to deal with a lot as an adult. It's people coming at my windpipe. And quicksand. For real though, why do we all learn about quicksand? I feel like more people learn how to survive in quicksand when we were kids than like stop, drop, and roll. Cake. That's what this song's called. I wasn't just randomly. Cake. I have a playlist that I put together on NCS, and I was just worried that the playlist was gonna run out and play something non-copyright. But no, this is still my shit. Go away. I don't know what I did. Don't know how I caused this mess. I've had this idea in my head for years. For this fucking piece. And again, I have no idea what I would do with it. Now it's once it comes to fruition. But it's this image that's existed in my head for so long. I gotta make it. Gotta make it. That's why I said I'm not gonna build the arms, because I have a different idea for that. talking about my playlist again. Because I was gonna link it, but I think I'm gonna link it when I get a decent amount on there, because right now it only has like 5 songs. But I do a playlist every month of my dopamine songs. Because it helps me in times when I can get stuck and locked in. If I listen to music that makes me want to move my body, it helps break it. So my playlist is one of my tools, but I share it just because I like sharing music. I always have. And we just can't do it the same ways anymore. And I've always struggled to find a way to share music on stream. Because I can promote NCS all day long, but that's not gonna tell you much about my music taste, really. Besides what I find tolerable for the most part. But the playlist that excites my brain every month, I'll tell you a little bit more, probably. I think the last time I talked about Spotify stuff, I said my like list was at 750 songs, and now it's like 1,200. I discovered not too long ago that Tool was on Spotify, because last time I used Spotify years ago, like actively used it or whatever, it was still at the point that Maynard Keenan was against having it on streaming platforms, because streaming platforms are exploitative to artists. Maybe not necessarily for someone of his size, but definitely for smaller ones. So for the longest time, none of his stuff was on Spotify. But I just discovered a couple weeks ago that it is now. Which kind of makes me sad, but at the same time, rediscovering Tool is an experience that probably one of the best experiences. Just in general. It's probably as good, or almost as good, as discovering Chevelle again, which is my favorite band. My brain literally forgot. Because it was all the shit that was floating up, and I never like wrote down or made part of my narrative. So I basically just take like the idea of who I was, rip it apart and figure out what parts were me. And like music always has the ability to speak universally where we can't. Yeah, apparently I didn't I didn't realize this until recently in some interactions, but because say the majority of people their understanding is like again the narrative that they've been either told or spoken for however long. So when you ask them like their favorite movies or whatever, it's probably gonna be something in the period in which they were born or formidable. And apparently, like, if you have definitive answers for those things that are recent or even comparative between recent and past stuff, apparently that's off-putting to people. Oops. Like, you asked me what my favorite movies, shows, and stuff are. I'm gonna reference the list of all the shit that I watched when I had mono and my brain was fixing and all of that, that I could form like an actual opinion of the piece as like art. And I don't just say tee Nightmare on Elm Street, even though I couldn't literally tell you the plot of that movie. Well, the plot's obvious, but like I watched them all when I was younger, and I could say what I liked then. But that me didn't have a good comprehension of art and all the details and intricacies that make something specific and stand out. So apparently, if you actually like know what it is, it's off-putting. Because I'm not like one of those people that can like judges things as being like bad because they're old or because they don't necessarily like bad CGI or you know certain makeup before they had the technology or whatever. I can approach things from the understanding that they didn't have those things now, and so I'm not just like, oh, that's bad or it's great. Because I say like Resident Evil Apocalypse, one of my favorite movies, but I can objectively say now that it is fucking terrible. I don't know if the plot makes much sense. The effects and everything. Like this Nemesis that I'm drawing, the tubes that they made were made with vacuum hoses. So like when I approach old games or old movies or things, I'm not one of those people who says, oh, it's so terrible because it's clunky. Yeah, it's clunky. It's from fucking, whenever. Like, being clunky like that, to me, is, I don't know, there's a difference. Like, sometimes it's clunky because it's awkward, sometimes it's clunky because it's old. Or like it's clunky because it's not well thought through, or whatever. That's a specific criticism I have about games, and I always get the argument that it's because it's an old game. No. Like The Witcher, I didn't play The Witcher because the controls were too clunky. And it's not because they were old games, because everything I play is old. It's because of the specific delay that it had and stuff. My brain couldn't handle it, and I couldn't adjust to it no matter how hard I tried. I might be able to now, but that's why I didn't continue it at the time. No, you didn't see me complaining my way through Resident Evil, because I don't. That's not the remastered one that I have. I don't think. You have to enjoy what it is. Like, Human Fall Flat is not clunky because it's bad dev or anything like that. It's clunky because it's, like, intentionally bad. It's intentionally difficult to grab things. It's what makes it fun. But I'm not gonna sit there and compare it to something that came out the same year that has better controls. Or better graphics, even. That's like one of my favorite fucking games ever. And it's one I introduce people to the most, is Streets of Rogue. Talamir? Those fucking just pixels, dude. And somehow, like, Streets of Rogue has had such a crazy, like, development, because I've had that game since it was literally, like, early release. Back when everything was, like, labeled as real drugs and stuff. And, like, muscly pills were steroids and things like that. And just watching that game develop, and it was even before the main campaign existed, so the whole thing about, I think it's the mayor or the governor or something, that whole story didn't exist in the beginning. And just watching it go through the development that it has for literally a sandbox game of pixels it's unique and fantastic. I was gonna say, could it be more visually stunning? Probably, but nah. 10 out of 10. I have to have the pink mustache. I need to put some more time into that game, but I think I need someone to do that with. It's hard to find someone to co-op things with. Because the reason that I would need to co-op... Oh, Wargamester, what's going on? Happy New Year! Thank you so much for the follow. It's like, you bring somebody in on a specific co-op because, at least for that, like, there's things that you need to, like, tag team, like, this person has to distract while this person does this or whatever. So that's why I would have to bring somebody in, but it's so difficult to find somebody whose brain works with you. I think also to complete Spiritfarer, I'm gonna do the same thing, but that's because there's a lot of jumping puzzles in Spiritfarer, and I'm really terrible at them because... Okay, I don't know the reason why I can't jump. It either has to be the eye thing, that something's fucking wrong there, or... like, the timing, dyspraxia, I don't know what it is, but jumping puzzles in games, I can't do them. And it doesn't matter what the game is, it doesn't matter what the format is, it doesn't matter what the controller is. This is consistent results across the board. I cannot jump. You think my door opened? Today is grocery day. But yeah, I think Monday is for my plan. I'm gonna do like 2 hours of like just talking stuff and then 2 hours of art. gives me more art time and stuff. So if you missed the beginning of the stream, it will be up on YouTube shortly after I end the stream. I put it up immediately, but YouTube takes some time to process, especially in HD, so. Yeah. It's kind of funny because we're almost at 1,000 followers, but it's like, I think it's like the third or fourth time I've hit 1,000. Sometimes it's because I made an entire community angry. Sometimes it's because I block a bunch of people. Yeah, solving a lot of Spiritfarer's jumping puzzles, and I am struggling on my own. So I probably need someone to co-op, because the co-op for that is one of you gets to be the cat, and sometimes the cat is easier to jump and do jumping puzzles. Sometimes. Yeah. Now it's pretty good for upload, at least for me. As long as I have good internet, I can upload fine. It's just when it comes from Twitch or if I run it through the editor on YouTube, that it's like processing standard definition is like 2 hours and high definition is like 4 hours. But this is what you do, YouTube. But sometimes even that is faster than trying to go into Adobe and cut out all the pauses and weird shit. It's easier to just do it in YouTube for streams. Our new schedule is 4 p.m. to 8. Just because that's when people are here anyways. I can do something more beneficial at that hour. I will, which today I did goals and stuff. When you just keep going and it just keeps getting weirder. Yeah, but that usually, that's a separate, that's a separate function of the site. And a faster function of the site. Yeah, this is just doodles. All I did was get a shape. It's not even a good shape. Look at that. I think it's funny though. It's like, in the top it's like very clear and detailed, and then as you go down it's like, it just gets worse and worse. And the copyright thing, it's quicker to check and approve the content than the standard editor. But to remove it, it's even worse. Like if they tell you, oh, this song, because like in Bioshock, one of the songs that came on the radio in the game, because they're like to 1950s songs or something like that. I don't know. Something got tagged. And so I just go in and cut it out. And that takes like 12 hours to process. But if I went in the YouTube editor, I might be able to get away with 4. But then they don't hyperlink the time it starts and the time it ends, so I have to find it myself, which ends up taking longer. They make it difficult on purpose. Yeah, it's a mess. I used to get flagged all the time because I ran song requests on my channel. But the new channel that my stuff uploads to, the Live Phoenix channel, it's a different channel than the one that used to get pinged, that used to have all the VODs up. I had to take them back down, re-download them. It's been such a mess, but it's been worth it because it's what's kept my shit up so far. I still do, but my Sam and Colby thing got tagged, but it wasn't because it was Sam and Colby content. It was the music that they used in their thing got pinged. But now I'm wondering, because I'm not monetized, so my videos aren't affected. They just say something on them or whatever. So if I do become monetized, then a portion or whatever gets sent to whatever. But it's like, do they have some kind of protection that like small channels don't, that they can get away with more things like that? That was just a thought that occurred to me. I don't know why. It's gonna be kind of difficult because the outline isn't gonna be gray. That's just where I had to put the lines because the suit is black on black leather. So I'm gonna have to do it mostly with shading. But that's why I always say build. Like when I said I'm not gonna build the arm, that's because I just start with the blob and then I just shape with the blob. Yeah, but it wasn't like that. And maybe it's fair use, or not fair use, but maybe they are no copyright tracks, but they're sometimes there's like websites that you can go that are no copyright like stock audio, but it's not the audio library and it's not the ones that are available on YouTube. It's like specifically for people who make videos. And so it does show up when you put it into YouTube that somebody owns that, but they don't get affected for however many years or whatever because of the license. But then when your license goes up, then you get affected, I guess. Which wouldn't matter to YouTubers because at that point there's little return. Not there's little return, but because like old videos still going is what keeps YouTubers, like big YouTubers now, from really making many videos. They're still riding on the views from the past times. So maybe it doesn't matter that much. I don't know. Maybe it's something I'll learn as I go. bad blob. Yeah, I'll probably have to do something like that for them. The shapes and the straps. And I get some more ideas for shows. Because there are some that I still want to do, but I just don't know how they'll be received or don't think that it's feasible now. I do like watching videos together type content, but it's difficult to find stuff worth watching that it is fair use because I have enough to say about it. Like, I just can't do the I just can't do like the reaction meta of just like oh yeah, great, next video. Like I can't. I think you told me about that one before. I did. I did cards at the beginning too. I did a couple pairings to make it quicker. And talked about goals and like how I organize things. As somebody who's done this more than once. I literally feel with this. I was just making up shit. What are all these lines? I think this is the pant leg I landed on. The picture that I'm working with as a reference is the picture from, I think it's Tom Studios. Maybe fucking the name up. It's the people who have the suit. So I have to like not only like look at it, take it in directly, but also kind of fit it into an actual person because it's just like a collapsed suit on like a skinny mannequin. It's not like the full Nemesis. And I get like people on like Etsy and stuff do this stuff all the time and sell like this kind of art or whatever. It's copyrighted. But I think it's just better for me to like, because at some point, if you're doing things like that, you're going to get tagged for something. Whether it's full being sued by the company or it's less like, and just not having to deal with that. Not knowing to know that it was in my future. Just knowing that I'd be solid, I think is better for my brain. I have not. We talked about AI art a little earlier. AI art is kind of unethical under capitalism as it currently stands. So I don't do it. And I know, like, I don't know. Yeah, earlier today. I know you weren't there, but in case I am aware that if I repeat it, I am repeating myself. Is all the only reason I say stuff like that. So if someone's been here the whole time, they're like, you talked about this already. I am aware. Yeah, I think it's currently unethical, which is like the same thing as like the Etsy and, you know, possibly getting tagged one day or whatever. It's like I've heard people wanting to use this stuff for like album art or different things. Like I've heard people using like even book covers and stuff to publish their books or whatever, and just at some point in time the law is going to catch up with technology at that point of where it stands, and there is a point that you're gonna have to answer for using copyrighted material, whether or not you knew it at the time. So just not having to worry about that, but also being unethical as it stands, like, because there isn't a way that it's done where it's not stealing from other things. So that's why I personally haven't done it. I don't really care about the silly stuff, but as someone who makes and sells art and stuff, I just can't. I can't do that to another artist, you know? I'd be pissed if somebody did it to me. In the wrong lane. Of course. No, at least it's filled in better. Especially since, like, with the art thing, especially since, like, more people are going to be using it, it's less likely that the original artist, being a small artist, is going to get recognized. It's going to be interesting to see the first, I think, legislation on that, and, like, the like, groundbreaking cases and stuff. Like, the way that, the H3 copyright case has become like the standard for fair use and copyright for anything, for like all content on the internet. I thought that was so interesting because basically if you haven't read the document, I did read it back when it was happening, because that's something that I think is important. No matter what you do, that's something important to know, is copyright law and doing like art or anything. And basically, in part of the document, it says that Ethan called this guy, I think his name was Matt, a douchebag, but basically it's not libel if it's true. It's not defamation if it's true. That's essentially what the document said. This is part of it, obviously, because they won, and there's a bunch of points, and it's a bunch of legal jargon, but it's legal jargon that you should understand if you're going to be in the space. And just reading that, and it's very legal the way it's said, but essentially boils down to he said you were a douche and you're a douche, so no lies here. Before Cassie, no, I haven't done like anything like that. It'd be an interesting place to draw like inspiration from and stuff, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like when I do it and I try things like that, it just looks different or weird, so I just don't touch it. Oh no, my phones. Hang in there a little longer. So I think it's funny when what the court cases are gonna be, because internet culture is internet culture. So they legally have to say terms like douchebag or which at the time was bigger. They're gonna have to say whatever the jargon is at the time. So I think that's gonna be a fun thing to pay attention to. But yeah, it's for I don't know enough about it to know if there's ever an ethical way to do it. I'm not saying my stance won't change. I'm just saying, for now, I don't like to be on the side of, like, there might possibly be repercussions in the future that I have to remember. Must be in fact is false. The stating infamy is not slander, but of a measurable impact. Yeah. They said it was basically that, but it said it had no measurable impact because it was true. Because they sued for copyright and defamation. With indefinite defamation cases, you have to have a measurable impact, which is very difficult to prove in a space like that. Yeah, but I don't think that's the money wasn't the center of that, but it was completely funded by the people of the internet, and it's called the FUPA Fund or the FUPA because it's fair use protection agency or something like that, and they named it FUPA because the internet is the internet. But that's one of the most important laws or precedents set in the space of what we do. And it's stupid shit like that. Humans are cool sometimes. Yeah, but I think it was a civil trial. Yeah, provable slander and libel are illegal. That's why those words exist. But it's different in that sense. I just think it's gonna be funny to see what those are gonna look like. Oh, and also I didn't move stream rooms, they just rotated. And I have the thing for the subs back there, but I don't know if it's something I'm gonna keep. Just because it gets fucked up so easy. It means like if I bump into it, it'll erase like everything. So, yeah, I can never remember which one's which, but basically, that's what he was saying. He's like, this isn't a. Basically, you are a douche, so it's not. Oops. Which is fucking hilarious. But like, legal isn't something I pay attention to typically. Unless it's gonna be something like monumental or possibly, so. Because I was talking to earlier about like things that I don't have to like write down to learn or to get more information about is something that I'm already going to be doing, like naturally, so. I don't have to like write it down. And honestly, if I did, I'd probably start hating it. Because then it becomes a demand. Learn copyright law. Man, that sucks. Read about this silly thing that happened on this stream. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Fraud. Isn't it too bad? What do you know is bad? I don't think they was charged for fraud. I don't understand. He wasn't charged for fraud or anything. It was a copyright case. Oops. But yeah, when it comes to all that legal stuff, like, it's not something I'm enthusiastic about. It's just when it pertains to what you are doing or attempting to do or anything, I think you should be knowledgeable. That, and you gotta know the rules to break them properly. Like, I don't have enough knowledge of the legal jargon and stuff to be able to repeat it in an educational way, but I have enough that in the context of, like, reading something like that, I am able to, like, comprehend what I need to comprehend from it. But, like, if I can't teach about it, then I don't know it well enough. And law is not something I'm ever gonna teach. Cut the next year when I'm the top legal channel on YouTube. No, I'm kidding. I would never. That'd be so fucking boring. That'd be so boring to me. I have to do things that interest me. That's how my brain works. I know I haven't done much but like stare at the for however long, but my brain is making shapes and shadows that you can't see. I'm making shapes. Shape-shifting? I think shape-shifting might freak me out as much as Rosie the Shark. Back on that. The phobia. Because it's like when the animatronics come to life. Same feeling. Like if I think something is static and then it comes to life. We're not cool. We are not good. Yeah, in my brain, shifting shape. Because my theory is, I just make a blob, and then I shape that blob until it looks right. And that's how I do the things. Well, like if you're standing there and something that you think is something else just starts shifting, or whatever, it's gonna give me that same feeling of like when like, when I'm around giant things for the megalophobia, or like if you're standing next to a statue that comes to life, it's gonna give you that same feeling. Well, it's gonna give me that same feeling. Like your stomach drops to your ass and your bottom of your feet get tingly. It's like, no, because I thought you were a dog. Now you're gonna stand up like a whole ass man? Fuck no. Yeah. Or like the Dwarven Centurions. Because if you don't know, or your first time in the Dwarven ruins, one might think that they're just statues on the wall with the whole thing that they sit in. And then that thing comes to life and fucking attacks you, and it really hurts. Maybe we're just learning in my past life I was killed by a statue that came to life, or a shapeshifter or something. That's why I have this deep fear. There it is. Am I blind? Well, yes, but not as bad as you think. And the fucking weeping angels have come up multiple times recently. Let's not let that be a thing. I think I'd rather just like whole ass close my eyes and just shut down and just wait to die. My strategy for weeping angels. Existing in the paranoia. Actually, I should do some a layer lower. Existing in the paranoia that they will come. Fuck no. I'm opting out. I've talked about this before, but I literally have like a recurring nightmare that's like that. There's this thing, I don't know if it's like a real if it's a real thing, as in like a real cryptid that I am just subconsciously remembering, that I don't like necessarily know off the top, but I have my phone going off, but whatever. Just watch the movie, look away. No. Because it's similar, because it's similar to Ghostwire. My brain just like stuttered. There's a quest in Ghostwire where you are going through the school. It was one of the newer ones. You're going through the school and this like fucking anatomy mannequin follows you. But like, even if you get further away, you can still like hear him come up the hallway or whatever. So I would like constantly live in the paranoia that they're always just outside the fucking door. But with Ghostwire, I think it's the ladies with the giant scissors. It has a face similar to that. The thing from my dream is a face similar to that. And so it's like a probably Japanese or Asian style. Which again could be something that I'm just suppressing. But she like can move like a ghost, I guess. So she floats around. And you cannot look her in the eyes. If you lock eyes with her, you're done. And so, like, I've had so many dreams of running from this thing. I don't know why. Or, like, hiding under a blanket or something. Or just closing my eyes and, like, just bearing down, clenching, whatever. Your entire body. Because you know it's gonna come at some point. And my brain just can't handle it. Just the paranoia. But I had this nightmare long before I played Ghostwire, so it's kind of funny that they were similar. You're like playing an innocent, fun game. You're like, oh, there's my exact nightmare in front of me. The anxiety of like living with the constant threat. I can't do it. It's this dark place. They remind me of Mother's house. I can laugh at it. Yeah, for some reason I always have that dream. I guess it's been a long time since I've had it now, but I guess something that requires constant attention, or like it's going to destroy you essentially with, like, I guess the angels or whatever. Like, that's kind of one of my worst fears because I cannot pay attention. I will eventually decide that death is better. Self-awareness does something to you, man. I think it's funny. That seems like a pretty reasonable, like, every ADHD person has this. Because it's like, just tell somebody with ADHD that all they have to do is stare at this thing. Because they're either gonna get distracted by something else by literally looking at, like, their own hands. Or they're gonna dissociate, so if the angel moves, they're not gonna know. Like when you're just like zoned out. Our brain essentially can't get bored or they will self-destruct. Okay, do this boring task. But I guess in that same vein, like, it would be the same as, like, you have to wait in the DMV line with no phones. I already got the serious, thoughtful stuff out, so now I just get to be ridiculous and insane. It's fun. Any kind of waiting with no phones. It's funny. Do you think people would be like, I guess Whovians would be more understanding if you're like, no, that's my weeping angels. It's literally as terrifying for me to stand in this line as it is for me to face a statue that comes to life and eats you if you don't look at it. And then that's how you get your ADHD diagnosis. You know what? And I might do Weeping Angels over a telephone call. I hate being on the phone. It's funny because Weeping Angels literally want to make me. I said I would literally just give up. Why haven't you made this phone call? I would literally rather give up. Dude, some of these dudes on the NCS tracks were fucking hard. Like, they put their whole ass into it. both say that is terrifying, but Nemesis is my comfort character, so. I want those to blend a little better. There's like fleshy business. Buddies. On the vacuum hoses that make up this sinew, if you will. So I'm not like close to done, but I just want the blood to be a little bloodier before the flesh gets fleshier. Because like in this I did the muscles and blood first in the neck. I think it'll be better to build underneath. Striations. I think that's what those are called. Muscle striations? Maybe I'm just making shit up. I tend to do that. Oop. Just momentarily forgot what I'm doing now. I thought it was gonna be Bioshock, but apparently Twitch likes Bioshock, thought theirs tastes better. Tomorrow is Skyrim, which means after this stream I probably get to play some Skyrim to set up for tomorrow. I probably should edit pictures and stuff, but I'm just not feeling it right now. There will be a moment in which I do feel it. It's not welcome. Happy New Year to you. Sorry, I was I was zoned into my muscles. I stretched the, like this was a smaller drawing and I stretched it so I'm kind of recoloring. Kind of making new shapes that I like better. The things look fuzzy or whatever. 2 unique haircuts. Not bad. I played recently, I forget when it was. But I was like, if I do the dishes for a little bit, then I can then I get to play a little bit of Fallout. So I did. Not that I ever like struggle with. My struggle is I don't do enough rest time because I'm constantly doing what my mind is driven by, which is usually work. Cause I just love it. No meter trucks. I didn't even like, I don't know, think of New Year's as a holiday this year. I did not have blunts for it. I had a little cone thing, and I have stuff which is sparkling apple grape juice, and that's what I do for New Year's. And I find this place to watch the ball drop. I was talking about that earlier, like how it's basically always the same. But over the past few years, because ABC has not made Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve like something that's publicly available. It looks like a little forehead, vagina, but we're gonna ignore it. I think about it every time I look at it. Oh. So the past few years, I've had to like find different places, and you know, sometimes it's a Spanish station, which is fun, and sometimes it's you know, just random things. And over the years, things have developed to the point that last night I was watching EarthCam, which was a bunch of different live streams from all over the world of people doing things. And there's a live stream for Times Square, New York City, that when that ball actually drops or whatever, when it does the countdown, it's usually the best one to watch. But this year, I found people just walking through New York City with a vlog camera. And it's like, thinking about like when I used to watch the show years ago. My parents had cable for a short period. Watching Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve, and then watching New York from some guy's camera who's literally going, "Thank you for the donations," during it. Oh, the times have changed. I love it though. It's a good time. So that's how I did last night's stuff. There was some concert. I have no idea who the fuck was performing. It changed the only constant. I say that all the time. Don't know whose concert it was. Some kind of, I think it was a rapper. But like two people had a very similar stream of it, and they were standing like up over, so you can't hear what they're singing. You could just see what is happening on the stage, and it is so interesting. And all the fucking people in chat, because it's just a regular guy streaming it or whatever. So it's just regular people in the chat just fucking roasting these people. Never have to be alone. Now that Twitch exists. I can't say I would've. Totally called that one coming. Thanks for the bits. But like, yeah, usually I set aside time for whatever the holiday is to do everything is. But I just cleaned for the last couple days. Because you're not supposed to clean today, it's bad luck. So I can't clean. So I had to get it done beforehand. And I got everything cleaned up. And got stuff to move again to a way that better fits my new understanding of things. So that's how I cope. That's how I process my world. They should be bloodier. It's too fleshy up here. Oh my gosh, she did dishes. I did so much dishes yesterday, so I wouldn't have to do any today. And I was also piled up from before. Dishes is my Everest. It's not my weeping angels, that is phone calls. Or Rosie the Shark. It's a weird thing. I just thought of it. Like, how do I explain a fear of Rosie the shark to somebody who's not on the internet? So basically, because that was a fucking YouTuber too, doing the same shit as like the guy in New York. He was exploring something he shouldn't have and vlogging it, and that's when they found the shark. Explain anything that's happened like post 2016 to someone who's not on the internet. Shit's gonna get weird. Man, closing time anyways. And I have to do more work on the body, but I will do that later. Oh, 1 second. I think it's the right one. I was gonna show the old Nemesis real quick before I end it. They keep talking about how much it's changed, but I don't think I have it anymore. No, I have it somewhere. But yeah. It is 8 o'clock, so that is where I am wrapping up. Gotta get groceries in and stuff. If you don't already, you should subscribe to the YouTube. That's where all my videos go up after I am live. I have stuff coming on Etsy and everything for like digital art and whatever. I'm with Phoenix everywhere you find me. With the same name. I appreciate everyone hanging out today and following and chatting with me. It was fun. I hope you guys have a great year. We'll be back tomorrow with Skyrim modded, same time, 4 p.m. Eastern. I am gonna go have an unprecedented metamorphosis. Bye.